Well, for Star Wars month, I guess I should get to my final thoughts. Wait. Star Wars creative executive states is all fake anyway. Canon is anything you want. Why do you keep doing this? Matt, come on, bro. What the mother... This is the geek protagonist. The geek protagonist. And today, for Star Wars month, let's see here. Every time I think I'm done. Star Wars creative executive attacked by fans after dubbing the franchise fake anyway. Star Wars story group writer claims canon is fake anyway. So let's see what the Daily Mail had to say. So Star Wars fans hit back at creative executive on the franchise after he commented the story was fake anyway. Lucasfilm executive Matt Martin was answering a fan question on Twitter on Saturday when he made the comment regarding the ability to pick and choose from different parts of the storyline. Fans were unimpressed with Martin, who is the story group creative executive for Disney-owned franchise, and quickly jumped to voice their disgust, claiming that his words showed disregard for longtime fans. Let's see where it says here. Martin made the comment Saturday in response to a thread. Oh, here we go. I was looking for his comment. It's all fake anyway, so you can choose to accept whatever you want as part of the story. Mr. Matt Martin. First of all, before I even go into the notations that I have taken and my thoughts, you as a head executive of any type of story, for one, needs to never disregard the story and the canon. Okay? Think of your favorite thing. It could be anything. Let's say, since this is Disney, let's take Spider-Man. Let's say you love Spider-Man. Then you turn around and Spider-Man one day walks out and now he's a Gila monster. No rhyme or reason. Just story where now he's just a Gila monster. No backstory, he just is. Then the very next thing that's supposed to be, the next issue, he now has Wolverine's powers. And he's dressed in a Wolverine outfit, but it's still Peter Parker. And then the next issue, he's back to being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Then the next issue, he's only 3 feet tall. No explanation, no nothing. Just different writers just writing their stories, just doing whatever they want. Do you see where canon kind of comes into play with that? Or if all of a sudden they have it as a One More Day storyline where Mary Jane and him are not together, and then for 5 issues they're together, and then all of a sudden for the next 6 issues they're not together and they're back to the previous story of One More Day. Then you turn around and you have the next issue where Spider-Man has a girlfriend, but then all of a sudden doesn't have a girlfriend with no explanation. He just doesn't have a girlfriend. Like, do you see how that can become a jumbled mess? You're supposed to be a professional, sir. So they don't care. It's all fake. So Lucasfilm Story Group, Star Wars is fake. Why worry? One of my first things that come to mind is that why do you guys cry about it if people start to complain about the forced diversity or representation if it doesn't mean anything? If you're talking about the stuff as is and you're like, well, no, you guys are just the istaphobe. That's why you don't like Rey or you're this. Well, why does it matter if it's all fake? It's a stupid way to go about it, bro. And now everyone's using what you said as a platform to the thought pattern of everyone, because you're not just anyone. You're not just a random writer or something. You're an executive. So now everyone thinks that every writer is under you has that same mindset as you because you are the representation of it. That's why that's stupid. You have a responsibility. See, people are already poised to jump on you, but now you're going to give them ammunition? That's just stupid, man. So, yeah, and then I see some stuff where they're like, yeah, you know, it's space wizards and laser swords. Then, like I said, if that's the case and that's how you're going to trivialize it, then you can't complain about people being an ist or a phobe to this franchise as a series or as any of it because it doesn't matter anyway, right? Because it's fake, right? So why are you trying to push your diversity on it, right? Why are you trying to make it all inclusive, right? You see how that can break down? You need to pick one. Like, now you're knocking off the stuff. You're not preaching about what it's going to be. Like, you're preaching for nothing. And saying what's canon, people want to know what's canon because they want to know the story to follow so they know what story it's going to be and how it's going to be. And how do you trivialize people who have had Star Wars a part of their lives the entire time? The story means something to people. Okay? There is one guy that I worked with. And he is definitely older than me by, I say 15, 16 and a half years. He's pushing their 50 or so. Something like that. Don't do the calculation. That's not my exact age. I'm kind of just rounding off in my head and rattling. So, nope. This guy loves Star Wars. Okay? He loves Star Wars so much that he will take Marvel things and try to turn them into Star Wars and say, see, they got this from Star Wars because of this. Even if it doesn't make any sense. He loves Star Wars. He loves him some Star Wars. He's a guy who will eat up anything Star Wars, even if it's bad. He's like, ah, it's bad, but I still loved it. Like, and you just told this guy that the thing that he saw when he was a kid, literally he told me why he loves Star Wars. It changed his life. Okay? I have seen older people, 60s, 70s, talk about when they first saw Star Wars. I watched a documentary where a guy was on his son and he cried thinking about Star Wars. And you have the audacity to call it fake? And it doesn't matter? Stories mean something to people. Sometimes that's the only thing they have. Like I've said before, Hulk related to me on a visceral level, but I guess it's all fake, so it doesn't matter. So I should have just did whatever and just became a crazy person or something, or ended myself. Like, what is wrong? Okay, bringing it back down. Bringing it back down. Then he says some stuff about it's your truth. It's not your truth. See, too many people use this. Well, it's your truth. No. Okay. There's only one truth, and it is the truth. What you interpret as it is your own emotional take on it. I can sit there and say the sky is red and the grass is orange. That doesn't mean the sky is red and the grass is orange. The truth is the sky is blue and the grass is green. No, there is a truth. There's fact. Doing this whole, it's your truth. No, that's not your truth. You live your truth as in the sense that you live the way you best feel the best way to live. That's what that means. Taking it anywhere else is just ridiculous. And if that's the case, then why did you guys wipe out the EU? Canon makes the flow of stories, all right? And if you're going to do that, then you're saying basically people can just kill any story they want. It doesn't matter if this guy fought Darth Sidious or fought Darth Maul or he's from the High Republic, even though he's a normal human and should have died. And you see him in the book. Let's just say you see him in a book and he dies. But now all of a sudden he's having a fight with Darth Maul. That's not following canon. Because now you're validating the fan fiction of it. That's literally not following the canon. No, this guy was born 200 years prior. He's not alive during the war. The end. But the way you're talking about it, no, there is no story. You're just writing random things down and just saying, well, I want this, so now this is that. Do you not understand the problem and why fans are so agitated with you? And it's also funny because, but then you guys will also say that fans are toxic and the Star Wars fans are toxic and canon is what you connect to. You know why the Marvel films do so well? because they followed a canon. Yeah, there's a little hole here or there, but for the most part, I would say out of the 4% that may be a little plot hole-ish, there is the other 96% that is completely following a narrative story. If they started to randomly just interject things that don't make sense, it would ruin it. That's why they're so successful. Maybe you should take some notes for that. Like, and don't get flustered if someone's asking you on a thing or something. Like, man up. Stop being weak. Like, I feel like you did that out of just being flustered because you didn't want to answer any more questions. And the problem is that you guys you're avoiding the strength of challenge. And to make your... See, you have to do the challenge to make your competition, and competition makes you better. You guys don't want to go back and read. This is what this comes off as. You don't want to go back and you don't want to read all the stuff. You don't want to deal with all the stuff and try to figure out where to fit your story. You just want to write it, and that's it. And that's actually, honestly, and I'm kind of coming at you a little bit, but that's a lazy approach. If you go in and you work for another company and they have a storyline already set and you're just writing the next chapter in that story or someone's chapter, yeah, you can add your own flavor, but you can't just sit there and go, okay, well, there's Batman. Joker doesn't exist now. He never has. That's your own story. You can write it Elseworlds, but we don't need that for Star Wars. Star Wars is such a big, vast universe. We want things to keep being implemented in Star Wars. We don't need to see an alternate dimension of Star Wars. That's not what Star Wars is about, and there's not that much content anymore, thanks to you guys nuking the EU. There's not enough content to do that with. And it's like and it is something about, like, filler is a derogatory term. Yes. Filler means that you're just holding, it's a placeholder. It doesn't mean anything. We want stories that mean something. When you do it, you ever watch an anime like One Piece? I remember watching One Piece and they had this thing where all of a sudden they were in old Japan for like 5 episodes. And Luffy and them didn't have their powers, but he was like he was serving a shogun and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't fun to watch, yeah, but it had nothing to do with the story. It wasn't canon. It was like a side story of a thing over here. That thing, literally, I could watch that series, never watch that section, and still be fine. It adds nothing to the story. That's what filler is. Filler adds nothing to the overall story. It's a thing that's out of place, or sometimes it's just there where you do a quick side adventure that literally you can fit in, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to be anything impactful. So you can have someone like, let's say you have Rebels and Sabine and Ezra leave for a little bit for like 4 episodes, and they go and they steal a diamond and then they send a diamond back, and no one ever really knew they did that, and then they come back. But if you literally cut it for where it was before from the season finale, and then by the next season they're all together flying again, no one ever mentions it, that's filler. It's just something that's there to enjoy for the thing, but it's nothing extra. Gosh, you're supposed to be the professional. Like, you're supposed to be the place that me and other people eventually want to get to if we start going into our writing. Like, seriously? And it feels like you're making excuses. Like, Luke changed, just like Yoda, just like Obi-Wan. We have a connection. And what I mean by that is Luke, I don't mean changed. I mean, like, Luke was trained. I said changed. Was trained through these guys. But they have a story. Like, you know, you got the Force Ghosts. Yeah. They can interact with them out in the outside world, just like when Obi-Wan sat down to talk, right? So now all of a sudden, let's just say you just say Force Ghosts are around. See how weird that is now? Because someone writes a new story with Luke, even though Luke has passed away, he's a Force Ghost. Nope, they just write a new story as if he's not. Like, I keep going back to that because it blows my mind that you even said that. Now, yeah, are Star Wars fans a little rough? Sure. No geekdom fandom, I think, is harder on each other and on the franchise than Star Wars fans. Do fans jump on Disney a little more than I think they should? My personal opinion, yeah. But I think so when you see the characters in the story and the threads, and they do this, like they say things prior, there's still a connective tissue there. But to take this stance, you slap every fan in the face, whether they're fans of the prequels, the originals, the Disney ones, or all of them. Like, whether they're like, this is my saga, that's the only one. And you're trying to say that people's headcanon is their truth? Like, that's just wrong. But if it's so fake, You know what? Yeah, if it's so fake, give me my money back. For every time I spend on Star Wars, is it so fake it doesn't mean nothing, and my money is apparently really real for you, then give everybody their money back since it's just fake and it doesn't matter. Like, okay, like I love wrestling, right? People call it fake, and I feel like even in wrestling, as a wrestling fan, and you will talk to any wrestling fan, and that's a disrespect. They work hard, they're professionals, they kill themselves to give us entertainment. Now, you could say you can't do it, it's an art form. Yeah, do you want to say that it's a scripted art form? Does it have registered outcomes? Sometimes that does happen and change. Do things happen? Is it set? Yeah, it's entertainment. But at the same time, there's still a storyline that is followed. There's still something there. But even fans of wrestling take it when you say it's all fake. They take that as an insult. So why do you think this wouldn't? And Star Wars is important to everybody, pretty much. Like, if you're sitting there, you're saying it's fake, then you're also kind of saying that the fans are fake and you know they don't deserve it, and just take the franchise to oblivion. And it's funny because I still find it crazy that people at that Lucas, you'll call everyone every name under the sun, but remember it's fake. Like, you see what I'm saying? How this is so inconsistent. And instead of putting the time in and everything, and standing on your merit, you say no. Don't be mad. It's whatever you want it to be. No, stand on your ground. Like, look, this is the stuff. This is what's canon. This is what we have as canon right now. If we decide to bring that back, we bring that back. Well, I don't like that. Okay, well, too bad. We're the ones that work here. Like, that would at least be you standing on your thing. Just like how you guys, but you're grabbing Thrawn and Dash, but then if you're saying everything's canon, then I can just go back and do that and ignore the Disney. Do you see what's going on here? You can change things and adjust the stories because you want it to be for the modern audience. You can still do that, and you can still keep a hold and respect the old. You should be able to listen to the fans and collab and get ones you love. Like, sometimes take the ideas, but don't take everything the fans say, but listen to the fans. It's a great thing. Throw that whiteboard away then, if that's all it is, since you're going to change everything anyway. Yeah, since you're going to change everything anyway. I mean, look, like, you got this story where you're coming out with the best of the best, and why? Because they're the best kind of thing. So, but you're saying it doesn't matter. You're also telling people who may be trying to keep up, not because they always want to. Sometimes people are completionists, and you have a customer where they'll just buy things even if they're like, maybe. But now you're telling them, well, it doesn't matter anyway, so don't even buy our books. Don't buy any of this new stuff we're working on, and we're working diligently on, and putting our time, our blood, or sweat, or tears in. Don't even worry about it. That's what you just told fans. Don't buy the High Republic stuff for that littlest apprehension. You're giving fans a way out where maybe they might want to try to check it out. Maybe they might discover something good, but you're saying it doesn't matter. Now they're like, well, you don't care, so why should I care? And when you have the comics, the books, the toys, the streamline, just streamline everything, get that vision and go. Like, I don't understand why this is so hard, but it's because you guys don't apparently care about the canon. So I guess now I can say whatever I think is canon since it doesn't matter to you. So, but like I said, you're telling people pretty much never to purchase Star Wars again if they don't want to. It's a waste of money because why does it matter? It's fake anyway, so why does it matter? It doesn't matter what it made you feel like or what it means to you or bring you back to your childhood or give you these wonderful memories or makes you wonder about new types of stories or is not a unique story that it is not a part of human history as one of the greatest franchises of all time, as one of the greatest things of all time, as one of the greatest stories of all time. No, it's just a piece of garbage. Dude, people love Star Wars. When people love a story can change everything. A story can make a person feel an emotion, okay? A story can make people cry. It can make them happy. It can make them sad. A great story can make them think differently. Maybe be inspired to do something or maybe find a career in something that they love. Maybe they wanted to create and they never knew it before until they read that story or saw that Star Wars. Like, do you not realize the gravity of what you said, Matt? But it seems more like you just feel like it sounds like you just can't keep up. So all those people in Australia who are Jedi, and the people who follow that Jedi Order, and the people who are the 501st, and the kids who go to the hospital. No, this is some seriousness right now, because listen, I'm not that great of a writer or whatever. Like I said, I've read a story before I got published once, and when time comes, I'll try again, and I'll probably bomb. But I don't care. I will put my heart and soul into it when that time does finally come. But you're going to sit there, and you're going to tell me, and you're going to look me and every fan in the eye, and you're going to sit there, and you're going to say that it's just fake, and it doesn't mean anything, and the canon is whatever you want? I knew a kid once that I went to school with. And he was kind of bullied. Now, I was one of the people, I didn't deal with bullies too well. You weren't going to bully me. And if I liked someone, you weren't going to bully them. I would step up. It was one of my detriments. My mom, not always happy with that. But I was a person who tried to stand up. And I remember when we were younger, this kid, his thing was that he saw Star Wars. His dad showed it to him. He never really watched it before. And he watched Luke. I'm talking about the original trilogy. And what ended up happening was that his dad, I remember this, his dad passed away. And that's why he ended up watching Star Wars, because his dad always loved Star Wars. And people tried to mess with him and try to tease him about that. But he made a connection with his father through that movie. Those movies. He saw that Luke never gave up at that time, no matter what happened. And even when Luke was tempted by the dark, he fought back. And he fought against the bully, and he fought against the evil, and he fought against all that. Now, I haven't seen this kid, and I'm not going to say his name for his own respect, but I remember one time there was some guys trying to bully him, and he actually stood up for himself, and I jumped in, and I intervened. So did my friend. He also intervened too, and whatever. And I was like, man, what's going on? And when we talked to him, he was thinking about possibly, because he was so depressed, about ending himself. And Luke freaking Skywalker made him think that maybe I can fight back too. How dare you invalidate his experience? Because that's what you freaking did. A great story can make a person think of the world in a different thing. Darkness is always here. But sometimes you can look at it differently, because something shows you that if they could do it, he can. You know how many kids I've seen, how many stories I've watched where a kid held on to Spider-Man, or when the Ninja Turtles, what they did for me, when I was feeling, when everything changed in my family, or when I had anger and stuff, and I saw that the Hulk was dealing with it too. People like you should not be in charge of this, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not saying you need to lose your job like that, but they need to switch your job out. There are people, they should be there caring about the story that they're giving people, because you never know what it means to somebody. It's all fake. Pick whatever you want. No. Our money's not fake. Our experiences aren't fake. I've grown up with Star Wars. It's not my top franchise. It's one of my favorites, but it's not my top. But I'll tell you this right now. I deep dove everything on Star Wars. And I've seen people's reactions, whether it's angry, happy, sad, what it means to them. Even if they don't like everything that's happening. It generates emotion. I'm not going to tweet you or anything, but I want you, Matt, sit back and think about where you are and what you're doing and what you said. This is the Geek Protagonist. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. And I'll see you. More Star Wars coming. Hey, thank you for visiting my channel. This is the Geek Protagonist. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please, it'll really help me out in the channel if you actually share these videos. If you like what I'm doing, please hit that bell notification. Hit it, click. This way you won't miss any of my videos. Also, there's a thing on there that says personal and all. Hit the all. This way you'll get them every time for the notifications. I'm trying to, grow, trying to do commentary about what's going on. And I want to thank you again. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. This is the Geek Protagonist. I'm out, and I'll see you.